Monday. We are going to talk under eye bags, under eye hollows. I was going to get on here a lot earlier. It didn't happen, so we're gonna get right into it. I have nothing on my face except for my BB cream, which I use as kind of like underneath my makeup, just kind of smooths everything out. Say hi when you're joining. If you have under eye issues, this is your time, ask away. So I'm been getting lots of questions about under eyes. It's something that as we age, we struggle with, right? So first of all, if you are new here, my name is Lauren. I'm 43 years old. I love helping women learn to love their makeup again with simple, easy techniques, okay? So we're gonna talk bags and hollows today. So if you have under eye issues, you feel like you're using a lot of concealer underneath the eyes and it's getting cakey and textury, this is gonna save you so much heartache. Hello, Polly. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Beverly. Hello. Let's see. Hello, guys. Okay. I have not done a tear duct filler, but maybe someone on here has and they can tell us more. Hello from Germany. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of use my one compact makeup. I'm gonna put it on. I have no makeup on, like I said, but I'm gonna leave my under eyes alone just so you can see. Now, I've kind of played up my under eyes a little bit just so you guys can kind of see the difference in how the technique works. But if you have any questions about under eyes during any of this, please ask. I'm gonna start with a bronzer and I'm going to kind of help with texture first. So if you tend to get texture here, which is really normal as we age, going in with a darker color first is going to even everything out and is going to just give you kind of more of a full coverage without adding too much product. I'm 41, almost 42. I have freckles and blueness under my eyes. Should I color correct and then use concealer? Yes and yes. And we're gonna talk about all of that today. Any good products or treatments for crepey skin under eye? We're gonna talk about that today. I can't wait, I'm so excited. I'm gonna just start really quick. We're just gonna go ahead and just kind of even out my skin tone, get the makeup on, and then we'll go right to the under eye. So I'm just gonna add some bronzer. If you are sleeping on bronzer, you guys don't sleep on it, especially if you have mature skin, because especially a cream, I actually got this question the other day. Do I like liquid or powder as we age? For me and for most of the people that I work on, no. If you're over the age of 40 and you're using liquid and you're like, this isn't working, a lot of times it has water in it, so it's dehydrating. And sometimes if we have texture, it kind of can make it look worse, or dryness. So that's what we're gonna do. Just gonna even that out. By doing an underpainting technique like this, it's just going to give you a little more coverage. You aren't putting layer and layers of makeup on, and it's all good. I'm gonna raise my stand just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go in. These are 4 colors. I can color match you to this at any time when I do post this. Don't do it now because I won't see it. You comment match, I can send you everything I'm using and do a color match for you. What are the benefits of using cream makeup? Does it feel heavy? I use IT Cosmetics CC cream as a base currently. I used IT Cosmetics for years. That's a great question. I'm gonna just switch my brush. Creams are very different. So creams absorb into the skin. So if you notice, I'm not swiping like I would with liquid. Creams are gonna absorb into the skin and they're gonna act like real skin. So one thing, as we age, we have more texture, we have more fine lines. Because this acts like real skin, it's going to look natural. It's not gonna sit in those areas. So if you've noticed as you're aging, maybe your makeup's sitting in fine lines and wrinkles, or maybe it's showing more texture, a lot of times because it has water in it, it's dehydrating. So the benefits of using a cream is that it mimics your natural skin and it makes everything look more glowy, which is another thing that happens as we age. We lose the glowiness to our skin. And so this brings it back and it hydrates. So that's a great question though. If you like liquid and it's working for you, awesome, that was way too much product. You also need less product with creams. I just put on way more than I needed there, so I'm just kind of dispersing it throughout. The color of the blush in my palette is Hollywood. It is one of my absolute favorites. It looks good on I would say light to medium skin tones. Once again, I'm leaving my under eyes alone because we're gonna go and do a lot more in depth with that. But this palette has everything I need. I'm not gonna be using this for everything today. I'm just gonna be showing you how I get a quick makeup look. You're so welcome. Okay, I have big pores. Will cream show up more than the liquid? Will they show the pores? No, because you have to be strategic with pores. So no matter what you are using with pores, if you use too light of a color on your pores, it's going to push everything forward. So always remember that with makeup. Dark recedes, light pulls forward. So that's why if you had pores, I would suggest going in with that bronzer technique I just did and underpaint. Dark is gonna recede those pores. And don't use a light color on the pores. So you can see I have 2 colors here. I would use my darker color on that area versus, and maybe even have 3 colors, because you can really work on color correcting at the same time and not using something so light it's gonna push them forward. So if your pores are really showing, you're using too light of a color there. Let's see, I found It Cosmetics to have a yellowish base. Yeah, I mean, it does. I personally have a hard time with how it lays on my skin and more mature skin. So they do have a mature line, and their concealer with their mature line is not bad. So I did like that one. I just, once you use liquid, or once you use cream and you realize like the benefits of cream with maturing skin, it's really hard to go back. So I'm just using my bronzer, again, warming up my skin. It's just really hard for me to go back and use that, to be honest. What makeup I'm using, this is Seint. I can customize a palette for you. I'm not touching my under eye, so if you're just hanging out here and just showed up, I'm gonna look a little scary, but we're gonna fix it. Okay, so you can just see, like, I wanted to show you how creams just even everything out. You can get a fuller coverage or a lighter coverage depending on the brush you use. A more fluffy brush like this is less dense. It'll give you a lighter coverage. Something that's more, this one's kind of a medium coverage, but if you had a more dense brush, something where the bristles are really close together, it's gonna give you a fuller coverage. So it's all about your brush, not the makeup. Let's see. If you have melasma on your cheeks, I would color correct, but also bronzer works really well. It's a great trick for melasma because it's going to kind of even everything out instead of having to try to go in with like colors. Bronzer works really, really well, and then color correcting as well. So melasma is usually like a green or a brown undertone depending on what the melasma looks like, and I would use like a pink, a light pink or a dark pink color corrector, and I can help you with that. What do you use to make them stay under your eyes as my eyes get very watery now? Oh my gosh, I'm starting to experience that. So makeup, you want to use a primer on your eye shadow especially, and then under the eyes you want to set it with a setting spray. If you're really oily, you can use a powder, but setting spray to me just goes on so nice and it doesn't give you a cakey textured look. Do I still recommend bronzer first? Yes, I put it on first. So is that everything I just put on my face is cream. So everything I'm gonna use today is actually cream. I am an advocate for cream. If you don't love how your makeup's looking, I tell you right now, just switch to cream and you'll be like, wow, it just makes everything look more natural. And I think as we age, less product is better, and the more natural, the better. You guys have good questions today. Make sure I'm not missing. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of blush on really quick. So this is Hollywood, one of my absolute favorite pinks. If you like pink blush, you will love this one. Creams look really pigmented too, but when you put them on, they just blend out really flawlessly. See how pretty and glowy that looks? So it's bringing back hydration. Our skin just gets more dull as we age. And so if you are using a matte foundation and it worked really well, you might not notice it might not work. I'm getting there, Donna, don't you worry. I'm just putting on my makeup first. Okay, I want you to see what this looks like. All right, so let's talk under eyes, okay? So I have my makeup on. I'm gonna just set it with some setting spray so it doesn't move. If your cream makeup's moving, set it with setting spray a couple of times throughout your makeup routine. All right, so I accentuated my under eye so that you can see. I wanna go like this so you can see the bag under my eye. I have bags, and then I wanna show you hollowing. So usually with hollowing, we hollow right around here. A lot of us, even me, kind of tend to hollow down into this arch kind of area. And that really gets worsened as we age because we lose that fat pad. So someone asked about tear duct filler. Some people choose to do that. If you don't choose to do that, which I don't, then I'm gonna just show you how we're gonna color correct those hollows. If your issue is under eye bags, or maybe you're like me and you have one or the other, which I tend to have more bag on this eye. Can you see that right there? We're gonna talk about a bag and how we color correct that, okay? So I'm gonna start with, this is my eye bag side, this is my hollow side, okay? So if you are saving this video, you can come back and really watch the replay. So the first thing you wanna do, what setting spray do I use? I love this one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush. It's the best one I found. My makeup doesn't move, so I love that. I don't have time to redo my makeup. All right, so what you wanna do? With a bag, okay, so let's just quick science here. With a bag, it's puffiness, right? Inflammation under the eye. Very normal as we age. So that part, if you were to look right here, right, this looks more pronounced. This part right here, my stand is moving on me, hold on. Okay, there we go, we should be good. This part right here of the bag, so when I put my eyes down, you can see this is more puffy. So I don't wanna put something bright on that. If I put something bright on that, it's gonna pull it forward and it's gonna look way worse, okay? Especially if you have fine lines and texture under there. Underneath this bag, so here's my bag, underneath right here, I wanna brighten because I wanna push that forward, okay? So if it's puffing out at us, think you wanna recede. If it's hollowed out, we wanna brighten and push forward. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Lynn, right now. Okay, so you wanna use something with a peach undertone. This one right here, this is a concealer stick from Celeste. I love these because they give you a lot of control, especially for a beginner. So see how that's kind of like a peachy color? You can also use Demi, which I love as well, which is from Seint. You might already have that. And then you want a concealer that's like 1 to 2 shades lighter than my foundation color, okay? So you can see how that would be 1 to 2 shades lighter. We're gonna use this strategically because if I don't use this strategically, it's gonna pull texture under the eye and we don't want that. You're never gonna cover dark circles with a color like this. So if you're trying to cover dark circles with a color like this, it's not gonna work for you, okay? So if you notice you have really dark under eyes and you're using a light concealer and you're like, this isn't working and I'm putting a ton of concealer on and I'm looking textured, it's because light isn't meant to cover darkness. And I'm gonna show you that. Okay, so let's start under eye bags. Where the bag is, so I'm gonna put my head down so you can really see it. Where that bag is, I'm gonna take my peach corrector and I'm going to just draw a little bit under there. This is a very light cream, I wanna say, so if you're using a heavy liquid concealer, be careful with this. I would suggest using a color corrector that's not super heavy, okay? Under the eye if you have texture. So on the bag, I'm putting that corrector. Under the bag, so here's my bag underneath. Now I'm going to pop that underneath. And I'm just making strategic. There's not much on there. This is a very light concealer. I'm going to go under the bag. That's gonna push it forward so it almost like makes the bag and the under eye meet so it looks like it's not puffy, okay? So then you wanna take something that's light and fluffy to blend this out. And you're gonna blend this color corrector first. Make sure you get it on the inner corner of the eye. And you're going to just tap that on. And I like to blend it all the way up to the temple. And I blend then the light next. And together, what that's gonna do is create the look of not only a brightened eye, but it's gonna push that part forward. So that illusion of the bag gives it a little bit more of a kind of popped feeling. Now, I have a little darkness here that looks like the under part of my bag. So I'm going back in with that light color and I'm then going to just push it up onto where that bag line meets. Like if you have bags, you understand. It's like a bag like this. So the top, I'm trying to make this make sense. This is your bag, top, bottom, okay? You wanna kind of bring it together so it looks like it's brightened and it's not as protruding. Now, if I was to put my head down, you're still gonna see the bag. Makeup's not gonna take that away. But what makeup can do is really brighten and bring forward. Now, if you have a little bit more, sorry, I keep losing my pens. If you have a little bit more darkness, just go right onto it with that darker color. Now, you don't wanna put a ton on, you wanna use something very light. Demi, like I said, is great. These sticks are really great for working with something, especially under the eye where you don't want a lot of, a lot of heaviness. So can you see how that's just already looking more plump? It doesn't look as dark. It already looks like this part of the bag and this part of the bag. This part of the bag and underneath are meeting and they're popping forward. Super easy, okay? Then what I would do to set that is not use a powder. I would take the same brush and I would, where's my setting spray? Spray my brush And then I would just tap underneath, just like that. You can also take this brightener down the side of your nose. It's just a little trick because we hollow there too. And just kind of blend that outward. And that's gonna also pop that area forward, which is gonna make the bag look lessened, okay? So that's what you wanna do with bags. These sticks are from Celeste. When I post this video, man, my stand is not staying up today. Might be time for a new one. When I post this video, if you type the word sticks, I'll send them to you. Don't do it now though, because I can't send it to you. Okay, oh, thank you, Paula. I'm hoping this is helpful. I want to get a little closer so you can see how I popped that part forward so it's brightened. That's going to give that illusion. My eyebrow is crazy. That's going to give the illusion that you've popped it forward, okay? Don't do sticks now because I can't send it to you. I don't have it linked yet. Okay, let's do hollows. The other thing I didn't show you, somebody asked for an under eye kind of like help with like texture and also for like crepiness. This is my favorite. This is the Viatin Stick Balm. I use this. It's kind of like in place for retinol. You don't need a retinol if you use this. It has like an under eye cream. It's kind of like an under eye cream, but you can rub it underneath the eyes. And if you find that you crease, using something like this before is gonna really help with creasing. So I can also link these as well. So if you say sticks, when I post this, I promise I will send you the skincare and all of the things I'm using, and I'll send you the colors I'm using, okay? Let's talk hollows really quick. Hollows, same thing. You're gonna take that same peachy color, okay? If you have Demi, 03 is one of my favorites. If you have kind of a bluish, purpley tone, it's great. And you wanna use something that's a little smaller, okay? Now, with the hollows, I like to use this small brush. If you're commenting sticks now, I won't be able to send it to you, I'm so sorry. But I will post this video on my page and you can then comment and I would love to send it to you then. I have to just get my automation set up. All right, so what I did is I just took a little bit on my brush. The reason I did that, with hollows, we're really pinpointing the dark color under the eyes, okay? You don't wanna go in with a color corrector all over. You only wanna place it on the dark colors. The whole point of a color corrector is to kind of go opposite on the color wheel. So if you have purple, you'd use a yellow. If you have blue, you use a kind of a peachy undertone. Yes, I can link the brushes. And you're going to place it on that color. And what it will do is it will counterbalance the color. So a lot of us were taught to take a really light concealer and put it all over, but you're not counterbalancing the color. So we want to correct the hollow first. So all I'm doing is taking this brush, and I'm trying to get really close so you can see, and I'm just putting it on that discoloration. I'm not putting it all over. So if you're hollowing, we want to plump this area that's hollowing, but first we have to color correct it. So that's what I'm doing right now, okay? And I'm not even blending it yet. I'm just, see how that's getting rid of the purple? Just with a little bit of product, okay? And I love this. Yeah, so once you stop using a shade that's too light, it'll be a game changer for you, I promise. I'm gonna come down here, I hollow here really bad, and I'm just gonna kind of just color correct. So see how I'm working in small sections. Hello from Greece, I miss Greece. I wanna go back. I'm working in small sections to correct the discoloration, okay? That's all I'm doing. And I'm hardly using any product, look at that. I'm hardly using any product to correct. And I'm not blending yet, don't worry. You're so welcome, okay. Yeah, I mean, and the thing, yeah, so someone said, I think I need a new concealer. I'm assuming the color you need changes with age. So yes, and our skin is always changing. So we definitely can always relook at your color corrector too, and our under eyes change, right? Sometimes I will wake up and I'm a lot more like purpley than I am blue. So a color corrector would be a different color for that. Okay, so I'm just working out. Someone said, I'm trying to read your comments, sorry. I hollow on the outer corners. It's the same technique. Yes, and I'm gonna show you. So if I had discoloration here, I'm just gonna color correct the discoloration, which I do. It's hard to pick up on camera, but I have a lot here. But if you hollow you're just gonna color correct first, okay? So make sure you're using that darker peach color. Already, that's more evened out. The other thing in a hollow that you will notice, see how it's like, here's my hollow, and right in the hollow is that shadow. You really wanna just place, see how I'm like pressing in to the hollow. I'm not swiping it, and I'm not gonna get rid of it 100%. Depends, we all have like, some of us have deeper hollows than everybody else, right? We all have different hollows, so it's gonna be the same technique, but just a little different. But I'm pressing it into that shadow of the hollow. So depending if you have that hollow that comes over here, you do the same thing. You're just gonna press that corrector into the hollows. Okay. Already that looks better, but we're gonna make it even different, okay? Make it better. Now, here comes your bright concealer that we were taught to use, okay? Now we're gonna brighten the areas that are hollowing. So, we're gonna just take a little on the brush. I love to work with a brush that's this small with hollows because you're not going all under the eye, you're literally just placing it. So now, here's my hollow. It's the same technique with the bag. You're gonna go on the outside of the hollow. See, I'm doing this, outside of the hollow. And what I'm doing is I'm plumping that outside part of the hollow so it looks like I'm not hollowed. If that makes sense, okay? And then I'm just gonna kind of work the product. And I'm gonna show you the outer corner too. A lot of people hollow right here, so don't forget to color correct in there. See how that's starting to fix? Okay. If you still have hollowing, you just go in and correct those areas. Once again, makeup can't take away everything, but it can create an illusion. And then if you're hollowing on the outer corner, it's the same thing, right? You just go where you need to brighten. So depending on where that hollow is, color correct the hollow, which is a shadow. Really, a hollow is just a shadow. See, this is falling again. Sorry, guys. There we go. Color correct the shadow, which is the hollow, and then go in and brighten. See how that looks so much less hollowed? Do I still have hollowing? Yes, I'm older, it's fine, but I'm making it look lessened, okay? There's me at a distance. Well, maybe it won't let me go. There's a little bit closer, just so you can see, okay? You can use multiple color correctors too, depending on, I wish this would stay today. This is making me so not happy. You can use multiple color correctors too if you have more colors under there or we can't fix it with just one. So that's always an option too. Okay, let me just make sure. Different brushes. Brushes are your tools. If you're not using good brushes, your makeup will never look how you want it to. So brushes are really big. How do I stop it looking creased and dry? Oh, you missed our step. This one. This is my favorite eye balm. It's a Korean beauty skincare. It acts as like a retinol, but it also helps with creasing and dryness under the eyes. When I post this, if you comment sticks, I'll also send you this information. I love it. Your skincare is just as important as your makeup. Let's see. This is why I don't like putting makeup on. So many steps. It takes me way too. You know, the thing is, it's crazy about that. I hear that all the time from women that, you know, makeup takes so long. The thing is when you master it, like by just doing this, and it's kind of like with anything in life, right? When you learn something new, it sucks and it's hard. And we say we can't do it. But the more you practice, the quicker we get at it, right? Like I'm like this with cooking. Let me just use it as an example. I'm like this with cooking. I'm like, I don't want to cook. I hate cooking. So I don't try. But if I was to actually try, I'd probably figure it out and I'd get faster, right? And I know my favorite recipes and things like that. It's the same way with makeup. These videos are long on purpose because they're teaching you something. So if you want to go try them and you try it, you'll figure out your eyes that fast. And then you'll be able to fix it. I can do my makeup in 3 minutes or less. I just am slowing this way down so that you can learn how to actually do it. So there you go with that. I don't believe in saying things are hard and that we don't do things because they're hard, because we can figure anything out. How do you prep your skin before applying makeup? I'm trying to make sure my stand stays. How do you prep your skin before applying makeup to use a primer? Primers are yes and no, really depends on your skin. I don't feel like everyone needs a primer. It's kind of up to you. If your makeup's not staying, make sure you have a good setting spray, and then also If you're oily, I do suggest a primer. So it just kind of depends on your skin. I'm just setting this with my setting spray. Let's see. I always set my makeup with a setting spray. And I do it, usually I will do my makeup and I will set it 3 times. So if your makeup's moving, set your makeup with setting spray before you start, in the middle before you start blending, and then at the very end. Which moisturizer do you use before makeup? I use a Korean skincare that I absolutely love. I can do free skincare quizzes too. So if you're interested in that, just message me. I would love to help you with that. The Korean skincare I'm using has changed my skin. I love it. Let's see, anything else? Nope, I think that's it. Okay, there you go, you guys. Hopefully that video helped you a little bit. It gives you something to go learn and play with and try. Don't be scared of different products. It really is about your tools, so your brushes that you're using, and it's also about learning where to put a color corrector versus a brightener, okay? Gone are the days of putting a ton of makeup, ton of bright concealer under the eyes as we age. This is literally going to change your under eyes, okay? So if it feels cakey, creasy, or oily though, just so you know, with any product you're using too much. So go back, only apply the color correctors in the areas you need it, and then brighten where you want it to pop forward, okay? All right, you guys, thanks for hanging with me. Hopefully this was helpful. Save it. Make sure when I post this, you comment sticks, and I will send you all the different things I used today, okay? Bye.